Hello. Welcome to the first installment of Franchise Fridays. Thank you for joining me on this Friday. And I figured I was going through a franchise to start with. And I realized that I hadn't done one movie in this franchise, which is weird because I thought I would start this in my birth month, but I didn't. But we got Jurassic Park. So for the next 5 weeks, I will be going through Jurassic Park franchise, starting with the original Jurassic Park from 1993, starring Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, and Richard Attenborough. So, what can I say about this movie that hasn't already been said? I mean, jeez. Directed by my favorite director, Steven Spielberg, this movie was... leave it to the guy who invented the summer blockbuster with Jaws to continue that with this. I mean, this was fantastic. Watching it in HD as well, on this Blu-ray, man, it's fantastic. There are some scenes, like most of the inside scenes, where it does get a little grainy, but when you get the larger scale, especially the infamous scene, where they see I think it's the Triceratops for the first time, or Stegosaurus, whatever. They first see the dinosaurs, the Brontosaurus. You know, that thing is just like, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. 1993 this came out, and it has better CGI than any of the movies that came out in 1993 would use CGI. Didn't the Lawnmower Man come out around that time and it had terrible CGI? It's fantastic. And it still kind of holds up. Yes, you can tell it's CGI, but it still holds up. It's still really good. And even the characterization. Okay, Jeff Goldblum gets a lot of flack for always being a guy. But I think I've always liked Jeff Goldblum. This, The Fly. A lot of people, don't like the fact that it's in the sequel. Well, that was the book. This and the second film are based on books written by Michael Crichton, and I know they take liberties, of course, because every adaptation does. But this is just... So what's the story? The story is that John Hammond, played by Richard Attenborough, comes to visit what's his name? Grant. Dr. Grant. I forgot his... Come to visit Dr. Grant, who brings along his friend and possibly girlfriend. A lot of people catch on that they're in a relationship, but I've never seen that. I've only seen, they may have some kind of thing on the side, but I never, I know they talk about kids, and that's the whole storyline for Dr. Grant, is, getting to know kids, and he's stuck with the, Hammond's niece and nephew, but I never saw them as a couple type thing, which is why people are disappointed at the beginning of the third one that they're not together. Spoiler alert. But for me, I'm just like, I never saw them as a couple. I thought they worked together. That even watching it now, it's like, how do people see them as a couple? There might be some kind of romantic thing with them, but she flirts more with Jeff Goldblum than she does him. I don't know. I guess I just don't get it. But they are tasked to come to the island of Isla Nublar. Dinosaur Island. Okay? Isla Nublar. Let me get it. To be a part of a new amusement park that John Hammond is putting together called Jurassic Park. And then shit goes south. And the only thing that I really never liked about this film, and that's the subplot with Dennis Nedry, played by Wayne Knight, who, if you remember, is the most annoying thing about Space Jam. But I feel like the only reason they have this subplot in this film is so they have a reason for the power to go out. People, there is a thunderstorm going on outside at this point in time. Couldn't you just have written that the thunderstorm knocks the power out and the dinosaurs go free? That would make sense than a plot that never gets picked up again about Dennis Nedry trying to sell these dinosaur embryos to someone. He loses them, gets killed by a dinosaur, and it's never really brought up again the rest of the film. Or the rest of the series, to be honest. Yes, there's some stuff in the in Fallen Kingdom about selling dinosaurs to people, weaponize them, stuff like that. I guess originally Jurassic Park 4 was going to come back to that and have dinosaur mutated creatures, but that never happened. So watching it now, that doesn't really do anything. And it is the one thing in this film that I have never and will never like, is the fact that they felt like they needed to add this character. Maybe he's in the book. Maybe that part's in the book, but you know, adaptations are adaptations. You could have taken that out and just said it was the thunderstorm that knocked out the generator. That would have made more sense. But no, you gotta have this Dennis Nedry bullshit. Which, by the way, he's watching a video. It's obviously a video because you can see the thing scrolling down, showing you how much time is left. It's 1993. I'll forgive you, Steven Spielberg, for not, seeing that or keying it out, But let's go faster. Must go faster. I always love that line. Jeff Goldblum, the T-Rex in this, man. The T-Rex, this movie solidifies why the T-Rex is my favorite dinosaur. Because oh man. The Nostalgia Critic is right to give it that song. I'm the motherfucking T-Rex. It is massive, massive. And then that scene later in the film, when the Raptors are fighting, we'll get to the Raptor stuff in a bit, but when the Raptors are fighting, attacking them, and that's where the statue and the bones and stuff, and the T-Rex comes in and swoops in and kills it, and then there's a roar. Fantastic, just fantastic. Yes, the Raptors. So apparently it's a big thing to have raptors there. Because when Dr. Grant finds the baby, he's like, what species is this? Oh, that's a velociraptor. And he just like, you bred raptors. Like, yes, raptors, deadly dangerous. I get it. But there's a motherfucking T-Rex out there that we find out later is better than the raptors. So why are you worried about little raptors? Apparently they're very dangerous, but this fits into his character, as earlier he's chastising his kid for not taking him seriously as Claw. So maybe that's why. Which, by the way, there's a theory, a fan theory that was supposed to be Owen, but Owen, who's Chris Pratt's character from Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and they've debunked that. Although that, I don't know. But yeah, so the Raptors. They have some pretty good scenes in this, but the one scene that's always criticized is the scene where they open the door. They open the door in the kitchen and walk in. Yeah. Yes, they have articulate claws, but they can't open doors. They don't have opposable thumbs. They need thumbs to open doors. You have to be able to hold the door where you open it. It doesn't make any sense. But it's a movie, Movies like these, you can just kind of shut your brain off because there's a lot of stuff that once you start thinking about doesn't make any sense. For instance, how they just managed to bring dinosaurs back. So apparently they found prehistoric mosquitoes fossilized in amber or tree sap of sort, and they'd taken that, and apparently every single one of these mosquitoes had just drank the blood of a dinosaur. Every single one of them. And they got the DNA out of there. Which, how do you know they're all... How do you get every single species of dinosaur out of this? I find it highly unlikely that the mosquitoes will go to different versions of dinosaurs. And then we find out later, because we gotta have them laying eggs, because they said, oh, we bred them all female, so there's no, unauthorized breeding and stuff. But they used frog DNA, and apparently some tree frogs can swap between sexes. So, yeah, didn't think that through, did you? So it's stupid. I always roll my eyes at that. It's just like, yeah, some tree frogs, yeah, but what is the likelihood that they would... I mean, they're scientists. Wouldn't they know which tree frogs can do that? Come on. Oh, yeah, I guess it's hypothesized that some tree frogs can do that, but come on. And, yeah, Dr. Grant is stuck with the kids the entire movie because we need to hammer in that he needs to... How? He needs to learn how to be responsible for children, even though that goes nowhere in the series, but... Yeah. We have Samuel L. Jackson in a cameo, whose most famous words in this are, "Hold on to your butts." And then he gets killed by a dinosaur off screen. Yeah. And I think the most memorable death for me is when the lawyer gets killed by the motherfucking T-Rex on the toilet. I always love that. But, yeah. Oh, and also we have sexy Jeff Goldblum when he's on the back of the thing and he got the shirt hanging off. He's all wet. That thing, yeah. They show that when we were watching this on the Sci-Fi Channel one time, and they kept showing that in the commercial. I'm like, stop showing that! Don't need to see sexy Goldblum, okay? Ugh. What can I say? This movie is fantastic. Everything I've said, they're not negatives, they're just nitpicks. Because this movie's fantastic. I've watched this thing a million times. It's from my favorite director ever. It is a fantastic film. And I can't give it a score higher. This movie, Jurassic Park, is going to the moon, baby. How? So, what are your thoughts on Jurassic Park? Do you love it as much as I do? Because this movie's fantastic, I think. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. This has been the first installment of Franchise Fridays, and we'll see you in the next one.